Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, the first thing that I want to talk about this week, title and thumbnail of the video, and the clickbait of the week. This is something that I think a lot of people are going to care about, but only a few people are going to actually care enough about to buy. These are new titanium cranks that, when you factor in the combination of weight and strength put together, could be the lightest and strongest cranks ever made for freestyle BMX. These are new titanium cranks made by RNC BMX, and the difference between these cranks and previous titanium cranks is that previous titanium cranks used tubing that was welded together, just like most cranks that you see are. These cranks are milled out from a solid piece of titanium, so there's no welds with them whatsoever, and there's actually a video up on their YouTube channel that I've got linked in the description below that shows these cranks being put under a stress test and withstanding 1,750 pounds without even bending. So with all of that being said, milled out solid titanium cranks, they're 20.4 ounces, and I scoured the internet trying to find the weight on the other types of titanium cranks, couldn't find anything, so I hit up my buddy who did have a set, shout out to Bobby Altizer, and he said that his set was 14 ounces and they felt like you were riding on sheet metal. Sorry if you didn't want me to say that, but with that being said, for only 6 ounces more, you can get a set of cranks that withstood 1,750 pounds. There's no weight limit on the cranks whatsoever, and I'm gonna read directly from the description on the site just so you guys can get a little bit more insight on the cranks. It says, one of the lightest and strongest crank sets ever made. We went over that. Crank arms are machined from a solid bar of 6AL4V titanium, no welds, and heat treated to make them unbelievably strong and stiff. Heat treated titanium spindle is 35% stronger than a normal 6AL4V titanium spindle. Flush mount bolts and sprocket bolt are titanium, right and left hand drive. 20.4 ounces, arms, spindle, flush mount bolts, and sprocket bolt. This is the 175 millimeters and 22 millimeter spindle. This is also a good place to bring up the weight difference between these and the cranks that we're used to seeing all the time, 4130 cranks that are welded and made of tubing. Most of the crank sets that I pulled up weighed between 28 and 33 ounces, so basically you're at about a half pound to 3/4 of a pound weight difference for a little over double the price. These cranks are $420. They're available at 160, 165, 170, 175, and 180. And if you want a custom size, you can contact them and they will make it for you. So it literally says under this is the part that I think is pretty cool. These cranks are made for whatever abuse you can throw at them. There is no weight limit on them, and they don't flex due to the triangle design. Then below that is the video that I already talked about. So I'm really curious, what do you guys think about these cranks? Solid titanium cranks. I'm not sure if there have been solid BMX cranks with no welds whatsoever before. The Primo Power Bites come to mind. They don't look like they were welded at all, but I have no idea how they're made. Either way though, these are solid titanium instead of chromoly. They're a little bit more expensive, but just the fact that these are made from a solid piece of metal makes me wonder how much more a chromoly version of them might weigh, or if there's any strength differences that you might get between chromoly and titanium, and if it even matters because of the fact that it's completely one solid piece of metal. This is the kind of stuff that makes me wish I had the capabilities of some of those science channels on YouTube so that I could just straight up test it myself and bring you guys the results, but I can't do that. Maybe someone else out there can and can bring us some results and let us know if this is the future, because it's possible that it is. It's possible that this design is what we'll see moving forward, so potentially we can eliminate the welding that's done on cranks these days, or at least have a segment that maybe is like a little bit more expensive because I'm sure that it costs more to do this, and have this segment above welded tubing cranks that maybe are stronger that people can go for if they want to. But I'm kind of just rambling ideas off the top of my head at this point. Maybe some of it makes sense, maybe none of it makes sense, but either way, I do want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I'm really curious to see how these perform and just what happens in the future, because it's totally possible that no weld cranks could become a thing, and I'm sure that there's at least a few of you that know what you're talking about and can chime in the comments down below. Moving on from there, there's a whole bunch of videos that I wanted to talk about this week to hopefully keep you guys entertained with everything going on. I hope that you're staying sane and finding ways to ride your bike in your driveway, your garage, your basement, your living room, whatever. I'm sorry that I brought it up. I know that for some of you this is kind of an escape from everything, but either way, I just wanted to say I hope you guys are all staying safe, and let's talk about the videos from this week. The first one that I want to talk about actually isn't out yet. yet at the time of recording this, but I know that it's going to be my favorite video of the week, and I know that it's about to come out anytime, and that is Erik Elstran's pro part from Our BMX. Can't really say anything about it beyond what Erik posted on his Instagram yesterday as a little bit of a preview, and from what you can see in that preview, it looks like it's going to be really good, and it's Erik Elstran. We all know that it's going to be something that we all want to watch. I'm excited to see it, and I'm really excited that I remembered to talk about it even though it's not online yet. Now let's talk about videos that are actually out at the time of recording this one. I'm going to start with a long one, and it's one that you probably have already seen because it's got 60,000 views at the time of recording this, and it's a video from Colt called Knock 'em Down 28 Days in Arizona. This one is actually 34 minutes long. I've gotten a little bit over halfway into it. It's enough to let you guys know that it is definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it yet, and there's a really good juxtaposition of styles in this one where it goes from like street style to a different type of street style. Then we've got Chase Hawk thrown in there, and there's just about everyone you can think of from the Colt team in this one. I saw Jason Watts in there, Corey Walsh is in there, Chase Hawk's in there so far. We've got Preston Okert's in there, Brandon Began, Dan Foley, Angie Marino had a clip in there. So if you guys have some downtime, which I think all of us do at this point, and you want to watch a longer BMX video, this is the one to check out. From there, let's talk about something that I completely skipped over, and that is the fact that the BMX Bandits full movie is online for you guys to watch. This is old news probably for some of you because it looks like it's been online for quite a while now, but BMX Union posted it and made me aware of it with their post, so I'm talking about it for you guys. If you want to watch the full BMX Bandits movie, it's online for you to check out and linked in the description down below. So then after that, I've got a request for you guys. I don't normally just ask you to watch videos with this BMX news video. I normally just put it all out there and let you guys watch what you want to watch. Well, this time I want you guys to watch this video and let me know what you think of it, genuinely, because believe it or not, I can pretty much guarantee that 95 or 100% of the clips in this video were posted on Instagram before they were ever put into this video, and they're all, literally every single one of them, is video worthy clips that definitely don't need to go on Instagram. And if you're watching this right now, Gage, you already know I'm talking about you, and I'm talking about the Gage Sharp phone dump video that he uploaded on his Vimeo page. You guys really got to check this out. Gage might literally be the most underrated rider in Ohio, and this video just proves it. So yeah, check this one out. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll give you a little bit of a preview. Hang 5 to bar spin, hang 10 to bar spin, nose manual 180 bar spin to fakie off of a ledge, 3 whip over a box jump, flares, bar in and out of ice pick grinds, and so much more. And that's why I think you guys should check this one out. Next up is one that I wanted to talk about because I recognized this dude's name from an Instagram video I saw a little while back where he did out of a quarter pipe and on a wall. He did 360 to nose press to 180 back in. I hope I pronounced your name right. It's Paterico, Fallico, and the video is called 23 for 23, and it's from Colony. And I knew that I wanted to talk about it as soon as I saw his name and the fact that he's riding Clint Miller's ramps, and this video doesn't disappoint whatsoever. And I'll just give you an example of how good this dude has to be. Number 19 in the video, he's doing a truck driver to foot jam whip back into a quarter, and the guy in the background who looks like he's just sitting there drinking a beer, whenever he lands the trick, the guy isn't even phased whatsoever. He's directly watching him, and he just keeps on drinking. And the fact that that was so casual that he's just not even acknowledging the fact that he landed it and just continuing to take a drink just shows how good this dude has to be. It's pretty short, just under 1.5 minutes long, and I think that you lip trick guys out there will definitely enjoy it. After that, I wanted to talk about one to make sure that you guys were aware of what's going on in case you wanted to try and get involved and enter for your chance to win. If you didn't know, Source BMX is doing a video contest for an all expenses paid trip to the Battle of Hastings and to be on the wild card team. This video that I'm talking about is the first submission in that contest, and it's from Evan Smedley, edited by Daryl Taco, and it says that this is the first one. How is this the first one in this? Guys, get on it. Film a street video part, submit it to Source BMX, where the Battle of Hastings judges for 2020 are going to judge these videos and pick a winner, and somebody is going to get an all expenses paid trip to the Battle of Hastings and get to be on the wild card team. That is awesome, and it's an awesome opportunity for anyone to enter. So with that, if you guys didn't know about this and you're working on a street part, you're probably a little bit more motivated to get on it and get it done so you can enter this contest when you are going to finish your video and put it out anyway, so why not? After that is a whole bunch of videos that I thought were worth mentioning, but I didn't want to talk super in depth about. The first is a behind the scenes video on the S&M wins video that we talked about in a previous news video. Then they also uploaded the entire Hot Dogs Who Can't Read DVD that came out a couple years ago. And then after that, I wanted to put some shine time on a video that came out from someone local here. He used to make videos on YouTube. His name's Matt Poteet. His channel is Matt Poteet Films, and he's been working on this full-length video called Never Grow Old for years now, and it's just now recently been released on YouTube, and I'm super psyched to see that it came out, and I wanted to make sure that I highlighted it for anyone local who watches these and didn't know that it was out, and anyone who might be interested in general or wanting to watch a longer video. This one's over 22 minutes long, and I just wanted to make sure that I talked about it. Then we've got a couple different how-tos that I wanted to throw in here. The first one, in case you guys missed it, I uploaded a video on how to build a 3-foot street spine this past Tuesday. If you guys are bored, stuck at home, you have some extra wood laying around or a little bit of money that you want to put into a ramp and you like street spines, check out the video and learn how to build a 3-foot street spine. Or if you just want to build a ramp in general, you can use that video as the instructions for building a ramp and just apply your own dimensions and geometry for the ramp that you want to build. Then we've got a video with Alex Heim about how to splatter paint a BMX bike. I don't know if it was completely obvious or not how to do this, but Alex gives you his input if you guys want to learn how to do it. And that brings us to the product section from this week. Product, because there's only one other thing to talk about beyond the titanium cranks that I talked about earlier. This is a video from Fit talking about their new Mixtape frame, and it's actually a really good overview of this frame. It talks about the reasoning behind the choices that they made and the changes that they made. They talk about a new head tube, a new material for the down tube, the dropouts, and all of these different aspects of this frame and the reasoning behind them. And it's really insightful, and I think it's really good for people to see things like this and just be informed and know why the bike that they're buying is made the way that it is, and know why it helps them and how it can help them if they get it. Another really cool aspect of this frame is that there's 2 different options for rear end length, and there's also a few different colorways for it. And with the different colorways, Matt Nordstrom and Justin Spreet both hand signed the stickers that come on their specific colorway. So every single Mixtape frame that you buy in these 2 different colorways has the actual personal signature of the person whose colorway it is. And I think that's really awesome, and it's a great personal touch, and I just love the direction that Fit is going with this one. Very professional, and it's just really cool to see something so insightful and professional within the BMX world that we live in right now. Oh, and I totally lied about there only being one other product thing to talk about. There is also a We The People Dan Kruk network frame promo video that came out this week. I'm gonna leave it because I don't feel like recording that again. Now let's talk about some sponsor news. There's one thing to talk about here, and actually only one thing this week, and that is that Mattias Dandois is now riding for Levi's. So it looks like Levi's is getting back into BMX again. Maybe we'll even see Morgan Wade get back on Levi's, but either way though, let's talk about some interviews stuff from this week. The first thing I want to talk about in the interview section is a video with Miki, Flek, and it's called Perception, and it's from United. And this is a video purely just to get to know Miki, Flek as a rider, and I love the fact that this exists. I don't know if these guys are watching me talk about the fact that we need more stuff, just teaching people about the personalities of riders and getting people to know them more than just for their riding. But I love the fact that more stuff like this keeps popping up, and I'm going to keep talking about it and keep praising it until there's stuff like this everywhere, and every single kid has a way to get to know their favorite rider beyond just seeing video parts of them riding. After that, we've got a video bike check with Matt Ray, and then we've got another P's and Q's interview over on Our BMX. This time it's called Setting Sail with Erik Holladay. Haven't had a chance to read it yet, but the past few have been good, so I know that this one's not going to be any different. Next up, we've got something that we wouldn't actually normally be able to talk about after the fact because Instagram live videos go away after a certain period of time, but this time Kyle Carlson over at Vital BMX took the live. I'm assuming he did a screen recording. He split it into 2 different sections, put them apart, and made it into an interview and made it live on after the Instagram live was done on YouTube. And this is with Kevin Peraza, and it's just a conversation with him. And I'll read the description to give you guys a synopsis of the things that they talked about. So we've got dealing with being quarantined, moving to San Diego, staying positive, Olympic plans, his upcoming signature frame from Mongoose, which I didn't know about, and much more. So for all you Kevin Peraza fans out there, well, if you're Kevin Peraza fans, you might have already seen it, but if you haven't, the link is in the description down below. And then we've got an interview from Vital BMX with Chris Doyle. This is a written interview, and it says that they caught up with Chris to see how retirement was treating him and to get some insight on what he has going on now, both in BMX and outside of BMX. I haven't had a chance to read through this one yet, so I'm gonna read it real quick and I'll get back to you with how it is. Just as I suspected, anything with Doyle is a good read, and this is absolutely no exception. So there's links to everything that I've talked about today in the order that I've talked about it in the description down below. Let me know what you guys think of the titanium cranks, and if you think that a solid milled out piece of metal for cranks is going to be something that people try moving forward, or if you think that it's going to be absolutely way too heavy for chromoly to do that. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Can you even get chromoly in a solid piece of metal? I don't even know, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new here or you haven't yet, so that hopefully we can see you tomorrow for another video. Goodbye.